Are you ready to boost your confidence when selling so you're able to close more deals? Nikki Rausch will show you how to build a foundation of skills and a mindset that creates sales success without feeling pushy or salesy and without fear of rejection. She is a sales strategist and coach with more than 25 years of sales experience and is master certified in neurolinguistic programming. This is a radically different approach to selling. It's a no sleaze, no slime, and no stress approach to building your business. This is Sales Maven. Here's Nikki.
Welcome, and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Rausch. I'm your own personal sales maven, here to offer you tips, techniques, and strategies to master your sales conversations. Today is a sales success story. I am so thrilled to have with me today Liz Larson and Leah Larson, and for you to hear about them and their business and the things they have implemented. So Liz and Leah, welcome to the show, friends.
Thanks, Nikki. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
Really excited.
I'm so excited for this conversation. So first, we're going to start with you, Liz. Tell everybody a little bit about you and your background and your business, like what you guys are doing, because it's cool stuff.
So I think there's a couple things that are relevant, especially for our conversation. One, I have a background in sales, strangely, in the car business.
Yes.
Yeah, I was a sales trainer. But what I really did was I implemented a sales program that we bought. And then I actually worked with people around energy medicine to clear their blocks around sales. So to say I was a sales trainer, that was true. But really what I was doing is helping people clear their blocks. And then after we didn't have a car dealership anymore, I became a master neurolinguistic practitioner.
My fellow NLP,
so
my
we
helper.
Yeah. And there's a reason I'm sharing this, so I have this background in sales and language.
Yes.
But there was a disconnect for the reason we started working together. So we can share that later.
Okay.
But I'm actually the co-developer of Cognomovement system, which is a system that helps the brain and the body work better together and allows the body to actually offload patterns that just no longer serve and keep us stuck. So that's who I am today.
Well, I want to talk more about Cognomovement, but I want to introduce Leah first as well and talk about her role at the company. And I've had the great pleasure of working with these ladies for the last few months. And so Leah, tell everybody a little bit about you, friend, and what you do at the company.
Well, I am the official Liz and Bill Wrangler. I am the business manager and I do all of the stuff on the back end. So I do the email marketing and the social media and answering questions and fixing the website problems and technical issues and
selling. I feel like and selling, Leah. I know you're selling. You're doing such a great job. Yeah. So Liz, because Leah had mentioned Bill, so talk about the relationship between you and Bill and how that came to be for Cognomovement and what you guys are doing now.
So Bill Mckenna is the actual founder of Cognomovement. Mm-hmm. And we were working together. I was helping him promote some other events, some things that he was doing. Bill had been really an adventurous helicopter pilot, skydiver, ended up having some really terrible injuries, and got married, had a baby at 50, and really ended up having this awakening. So Bill was working in helping people heal as a hobby. And he ran across this method that kind of included physical therapy, but, harmonizing the brain. And he called me one day and he's like, hey, I've got this idea. Well, there was so much about it that sort of matched NLP that I already knew. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, okay, but I already have tools for that. Some point later, I had to kind of write protocols. He wanted to start teaching people what he was doing. Mm-hmm. So which meant I had to put my hat on. Well, when I started doing it, I realized how powerful it was in combining what I knew with NLP with these strategies that really incorporated the brain and the eyes and the spinal cord and memory in the body, not in the mind. And so when that happened, we just hit the ground running. And my part of it really was the research and development of it. And so that's what we've been doing ever since, just working every day. And we're thrilled to do it every day, actually. Our joke is, where's our miracle for today? Because the most amazing things happen so fast. So yeah, I mean, after that, we became business partners and it became our full-time focus and gig and kind of the loves of our lives.
So let's talk about why somebody would need a Cognomovement session. What are some of the things that people come to have a Cognomovement session? And what are some of the, maybe before we go there, what are things that people typically try to overcome some of the challenges or the whatever it is that they're facing, and now come to Cognomovement and see these results that I know that is the joke around there of like, where's our miracle today?
Where's our miracle today?
Because your clients often are like, this is a miracle. This feels like a miracle, like something has changed. So let's talk about that. So what are some of the things people are typically coming from? What are things that they've tried and now they come to Cognomovement?
Well, some of the fun things are for athletic performance. We can just give the body a tune-up so fast that we can help an athlete install the things that they want their body to do. Would take a year of training, we can install in minutes. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the fun ones that we have. The other ones are all the things that people are stuck in life around. Okay. So fears and phobias, fears of flying on a plane, spiders, maybe that's Leah.
That was me prior to NLP training, actually. I had a huge, until we did the fear and phobia trauma relief process in masters, that I was finally able to like even be in a room with a spider. So yeah. Okay. So
so you get that one.
Yeah, I totally get that one.
Fears and phobias, relationship issues.
Like for instance?
Changes in the body, just in general, and discomfort and pain. So usually the people that come to Cognomovement have tried everything. That's what we hear. I've tried everything.
Okay.
But they're also super highly educated in that everything that they've tried. Mm-hmm. So they know there should be a solution. And when they get to Cognomovement, they find that it's not in their mind. They've been trying to fix their mind. And really, it's in the body. It's this connection. It's an electrical circuit between the two that just keeps running and running. So that's where Cognomovement differs from so many things, as we go in through the body, through the sensation in the body. And once that sensation's gone, the mind just doesn't care about it anymore. So people find they sort of have a bit of amnesia even around it.
Yeah.
So.
It's awesome. And of course, I love anything to do with eye accessing cues, because that was such a powerful training for me and the experiences that I had through NLP. And now I feel like you have taken the eye accessing cue part of NLP and incorporated it into this this training that you guys have put together where people are getting results. Now, I know because I get to be behind the scenes with your business and talk about the kind of results that you guys are getting, the kind of experiences that your clients are having. Let's talk about the ways that you work with clients. So I feel like there's a couple ways that people can get exposed to Cognomovement, and how is that?
So the first way is that we have a whole course online. Mm-hmm. And it's really not a course. It's a way that a person can access the work. We use what's called a Cogno ball. It's this funny little ball with symbols and colors on it. And then they get a step-by-step breakdown of each of the steps.
Okay.
So they can then start doing it for themselves, and as many times as they want, and experience as much change or growth as they want to. So that's theirs.
It's not a one and done. Like people will do it for one thing and then do it for another. Like, okay, so today I'm feeling kind of low energy, so I'm going to do Cognomovement. Or today I am, feeling sad about something, so I'm going to, I'm just making up things, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or we have people who are working really aggressively in pain management, trying to get off pain pills and things like that. Mm-hmm. And so those people might use that. In fact, we have a lot of people doing that, might use those recordings to help themselves mitigate pain or help themselves, extend time in between pain pills, stuff like that.
Okay.
So we're not really allowed to talk about, that we can cure any named disease, but we can help with the stress of those problems. And so that's one of the ways that Cognomovement really helps people who are on that kind of a journey. The other thing is they can just use it for 3 minutes, like a cup of coffee, just to have energy for the day. Or some people will use it it's kind of a mantra. I feel unfulfilled today because we're all a little unfulfilled because otherwise we'd be dead. We want something during that day. We want to create something, right? So we don't have it yet. So it's not filled quite yet.
Yeah.
So that feeling of unfulfillment can feel like pain or stress or discomfort or anxiety, where what we really want it to feel like is excitement. So with a 3-minute session, you can flip that over. So what you want for the day, the thing you're trying to fill, now becomes thrilling rather than anxious or frustrating.
Okay. So for people who are ways that you work with clients now are you have the online course, which is called Basic Training. You guys do a weekly Cognomovement session, right?
Yeah, a free session. It's online. YouTube,
That's a way
Facebook.
for people to dip their toe in the water with you guys.
Yeah.
And then you also offer practitioners training. So people who want to become certified in this and then actually want to guide their own clients through it. So the people that come for those typically are people who have, help me here, like massage therapy practices, Reiki practitioners. What are some of the other types of people who want to be certified?
We have doctors of acupuncture. We have therapists.
Yeah.
But we also have people who really have just had a huge interest in self-help and healing. So maybe they dipped their toe in it.
Yeah.
But they're not really, they haven't started a practice of any kind. So we have from that all the way up to doctors and everywhere in between. Just take somebody who's really passionate about helping people change. And also people who are a little bit impatient because they want it to happen now. That's autobiographical for me.
So a lot of people are adding it to their own practice and they're already experts in other things. And some people are just using it as a standalone business as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. So that's Cognomovement. If you guys have interest about this as a listener, we're going to have information at the end of how you can get more, and also in the show notes of how to get in touch with Liz and Leah, because this is really cool stuff that they're doing. And it might be something, if you've never heard of Cognomovement, something new to check out. And if you have heard of it, you probably are already studying with them. And I know they have people from around the world studying with them. So it's super exciting. So let's talk about some of the things that we have done, the work that we have done together, and the way that you have implemented and some of the results that you have received. One of the first things, I think, when we started working together, one of the biggest kind of touching points or places where I was like, okay, we got to fix this first, was around your list management and your emails. And so can you guys talk a little bit about where were you when we started working together and what has changed? Because I personally feel like this is one of the biggest successes.
Well, it's been huge for us. And I just want to say, what I said in the very intro, I worked in a car dealership. I worked on the car dealership. I wrote the ads. I coached the salespeople. And I'm an NLP practitioner. And we were struggling with our emails. We were struggling with the language. So the reason I'm saying those things, it would make sense that it would come naturally to me, but it didn't. We were having a real hard time in the conversion of what we know in our heads and what we know is possible and getting that language out to our clients. So I just want to share, that's one of the biggest reasons. Well, also I've known Nikki forever and I think she's amazing. And I know her work is so powerful. But that's one of the biggest reasons, we wanted to work with Nikki in the VIP program is because we were just really struggling. And we didn't have any drips. So I'll let Leah talk about
there
that.
were no sequences.
There were no
I think we started working together. There were no email sequences. And I was like, well, this has got to change because I mean, you guys have gotten some really amazing opportunities and your list is growing every single day. I know you guys were on Gaia TV and I think, have you been on Gaia TV multiple times?
Actually, our company has. My face has not been on Gaia TV. Bill's face has been.
Bill has,
but yeah, I mean, we're queuing up right now for the 4th interview with Gaia, which is huge. It's a very targeted market.
If somebody hasn't heard of Gaia TV, will you just give like a 30-second, what is Gaia TV?
Yeah, Gaia TV is really cool. It's a kind of an alternative streaming service that has stuff like science and spirituality, alternative health, yoga, aliens, conspiracy theory.
Okay.
All rolled up into one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So fun stuff. Okay. So I feel like this has really kind of been Leah's thing that she has really run with the email sequences. Cause girl, you've been writing some email sequences. So let's talk about this. How has it gone for you?
Well, so something that Liz didn't mention is, and if you can't tell from our voices, we're mother and daughter team.
And when you see a picture of them, you will know they are mother and daughter for sure.
So we also built a YouTube following of about 200 million views. 7 million views and 200,000 subscribers. There we go.
No, honey, it's 400 million views.
Oh, there you go. See, I don't even know. It was big though. And
okay, hold on. Let's slow down for just a second. 400 million views on YouTube that the two of you built. This was a previous business, yes, to what you guys are doing now. Because when I knew you, Liz, I was like, I used to tell everybody, like, I have a friend who is a YouTube sensation. Like, she has built this incredible business from her YouTube. So 400 million views on YouTube. Okay, keep going.
Yes. Clearly, I don't have the numbers right. But so that's how I started doing all of this background stuff, all of the I was on it too, but mostly I answered all the comments. I did the social media stuff. I built our website, which is the first website I ever built. And we answered thousands and thousands and thousands of comments. And I still didn't know how to do this stuff. So I just wanted to, connect that there.
I'm going to say she was doing something right.
And we did have a big course on that with.
Yeah, I remember. I actually bought the course for a family member who still to this day is like in awe that I know Liz Larson.
Well, and
you're famous.
We didn't know how to sell that course either.
Yeah, so. I mean, that's a point. Even with 400 million views, we really did not sell the volume that we should have. So just because you have a big list or following does not mean you can convert sales. And we did not. We did, but we also not the volume that there should have been.
Not even close. Yeah. So I just didn't know where to start. I mean, and I kind of hated doing it. I hated writing the emails. We sent emails every single day and almost, and we weren't getting that many opens or that many clicks. And we're like, this thing is so awesome. What is happening? Like, we're clearly missing something. So, when we got in touch with you, everything changed. We started doing the email sequences. We did the one that was for a specific event. We did the one for our specific for our basic training course. And I wrote a lot of emails that needed a lot of tweaking from Nikki. And but I mean, I don't know if this is the time to say it yet, but we made our money back within the first month just from doing email sequences and making our wording a little bit different. And it kind of changed everything. So
I love that. I love that. I mean, my goal always especially in a VIP program, because it is a financial commitment to invest that kind of money and to work with me. So my goal always is for you to earn your money back really quickly before our program is done. And the fact that you guys did it in the first month, and you really doubled down because you went through the email conversion sequence masterclass, or conversion email. Yeah, that's what it's called, which is coming up, by the way. If you're a listener, I'm going to teach it again in April. And you really took to heart of like, okay, I get this. We need to have sequences in place. We need to get them written. And then I got to get my little fingers on them and tweak them a little bit. And so, yeah, I'm just so proud of you guys for implementing, and nothing is better than to know, oh, we already made our money back before we've even finished the program.
I want to add to that too, Nikki, because for us, it was like having training wheels. We did follow, we learned what we learned from the masterclass, and then we followed some scripts. There's some scripts that you can use. And then being able to send them back, that's that personal part of the VIP where Nikki adjusted and showed us where we could make change. And so there's really this big education in there, seeing what we thought looked right, and then having you make your little tweaks so that we're like, okay, now we get why that really would relate to our client better. And I want to say for myself, the one big shift in my mind was I was writing emails to 3,000 plus people on my list. Mm-hmm. Now we're writing emails to one client. One client. These are personal. It's not a mass email. It's really to our one client. And so for me, in writing the ones that I write, having that perspective shift, I think really changed everything.
Thank you for saying that.
And when we talk about Liz wrangling, this was definitely one of the things. She did not want to do the emails, and it was a block for her. So she Cognomovemented it. And that really helped. But we definitely understand it more. Like I would send the emails to get checked out and by you, and what you sent back, even just the little tweaks, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. So it was really great. Now I really take the emails seriously, and I put a lot of thought into them and stuff. So
we've seen a dramatic change, right? Your open rates have gone up, your conversions are there. Whereas before I was like, you got this list, like, are we converting? Are we selling to this list? So I'm super excited about this. And so as a listener, for the listener, I just want to comment on something that Liz had said, that it's a really common mistake, frankly, that when we send emails to our list, we think we're talking to the whole list. But in actuality, none of us read email as a group. And so you shouldn't, frankly, address your emails to a group. Talk to a person, and it starts to feel like a real conversation. It starts to feel personal. And so an example of this is if you're sending emails out to your list and you're like, hey, everybody, this is for all of you. You're talking to everybody. And when you talk to everybody, it's super easy to ignore. You're talking to nobody. So we really started focusing on making sure that it felt personalized to the reader, the one person who's on their phone or sitting at their computer, looking at that message and feeling like Liz is speaking to me. So I just wanted to make a little comment about this.
Well, it really has made a big difference. And I want to address what Leah said about wrangling me around the sales thing. When you run a business, you're creating your products, right? You're creating, in my case, my mind is in the research and development, which is so exciting for me. To have to stop that and then put my brain onto now selling that, it really did feel like such a huge chore. It wasn't exciting. Remember I was saying, like, if you have something you have to do for the day and it feels like anxiety versus thrilling. So working with Nikki has shifted that for us. It was hard for me, but now it's exciting to see what we can put into an email that actually does speak to our client and is something they want to know about or they want to hear, that touches them. So it's not just a technical language shift. It's really an emotional and a perspective shift that Nikki helped us with. And not only are we really doing better with our product, we're filling our events better, using the drifts, using just the tools, the toolkit that we have.
You guys have done such a great job. And then now so I love it. I'm super proud of you guys. I'm super excited for your success. I want more people to know about Cognomovement, and this is the way to get it out there. And frankly, you guys put on this weekly free Cognomovement session so people can come test it out and see if it's for them. That was another area I think that I wanted to make sure we're selling at that, right? We're making sales at that, right? That was another one of our big things that we worked on.
We are now. Yeah, we just were not taking advantage of that at all. It just hadn't occurred to us. We're so focused on the work and the people and their incredible stories every week.
Yeah.
And when Nikki's like, well, are you setting it up? Are you giving an offer? We were not even really offering anything except for maybe an upcoming class. And we were really failing at that too. So Nikki helped us pre-frame, which I'm an NLP master. I should know that. Yeah.
Pre-frame is speaking the NLP language.
Oh my gosh, pre-frame. Hey guys, we're going to offer you something at the end. We're going somewhere with this. And then having that offer mapped out at the end, and we just tell people how they can get it, what it is, and how they've already experienced the changes that they're looking for. And here's something that can take that to the next step. And it was that easy. And we started immediately from the first time we used it selling.
And I'm just going to mention too that there is an email campaign that goes around the free event as well, right? So yes, there's an offer that's made. Yes, there's a pre-frame. There's an offer made at the end, and there has to be some type of email to support the offer too. So you guys have really taken this and run. And your business was already phenomenal. You were already impacting people around the world. It's just been really fun to watch how you have utilized these things. Is there anything else that we haven't touched on or anything else that you want to share? Because when you think about somebody who has a really cool business, they're super excited about what they're offering in the market. And I feel like you're being really vulnerable and honest about the fact that, yes, I have this background in NLP, and yes, I have this background in sales, and we weren't maximizing it. Was there any other area that was a huge eye opener for you guys?
Yeah, we had back in September, we had totally rebuilt the website. Leah completely rebuilt it. We had new products. We relaunched our business. And we had a big Gaia interview to fuel that, which was so helpful. So we were doing well, like you said. We were really happy with what we were doing. But we did know there were holes in this ability to actually guide our business and decide what we were going to sell every month. We were kind of floating. So now we can target, our email list if we need, if the sales have been lacking, if we haven't done a good job in the beginning, of the month, let's say. So one of the things is at the end of the last few months, we did an event that was kind of even last minute. And we used the formula that Nikki gave us, and we filled those events. So we were able to meet our sales goals. So I would say, even if you're doing well already, but you're not able to guide or choose the amount of sales you're going to have that month, or if you're not sure how to grow, that's where you could really implement what Nikki teaches and what she helps you build. So we're still building on what we got from our VIP. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, we still have a lot to go from what we learned. So, and a lot more to implement. But I want to also say that when we were trying to decide what to do, because we were clearly missing something, like we were missing something, we're doing everything else. You know, going with you, I was like, we have to, like, because I don't want to do the yucky sales. Like, I don't want to do the big red sign and the, you know, like pushy. I don't want to do that. And really, like, this actually working with Nikki makes it kind of fun. One of my emails I sent, I did like a short story and was like, hey, do you want to start a movie? And like, I mean, we're actually having fun with the sales, and it doesn't feel pushy. It feels like actually telling people what we have and that it's awesome for them. It's gonna change everything for them. And so even the sales part feels good. And one really big thing it's helped me with is answering people's questions and doing the sales part when answering people's questions. And there's been such a positive result from that, from people just saying how much it helps them. Just my responses, learning from Nikki what to say and how to direct them. They're like, oh yeah, like, of course, that's what I would do. So,
of course I'm ready to buy now. That's awesome. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
I just want to add to that too. When I share with people, I for years I've shared with people what Nikki does, because, she's my friend. I've known her for a long time, and her work is amazing. But this is the way I describe it. It's like Nikki helps you turn an offer like, hey, buy my thing, into, I am offering you the most precious gift that I have. Would you be willing to receive it? That's the language that's what it feels like, right? To receive that email. And that's what we wanted so much. We care so much about our clients and their lives, that to be able to offer them the most precious gift that we have with that energy behind it, it really means everything. It changes the whole feeling and the vibe behind that. And Leah, with what she's learned from Nikki in the back end, it's helped us turn people who want to cancel into somebody who buys a much bigger package, because they just didn't understand what was happening. They reach out for help. They're reaching out to understand more, to really grasp what's available for them. And I think with the coaching that we've had, that's what Leah is able to do. Every time she gets an email that might have seemed challenging in the past, it now seems like a real opportunity. So that's amazing for us.
Wow. Well, thank you for your kind words, and I appreciate them, and I receive them at I feel like you just completely held my heart in your hand with the way you said that. I feel really touched by it. So thank you. And I just could not be more proud or more thrilled at the way you guys have implemented, how you have been able to take something that I will offer and, apply it over here and apply it over here in your business. And you're starting to see these results, and people are getting to experience your work, which is the most important thing, right? I believe that you guys are world changers and life changers, and it's an opportunity for people to experience this. And we need to put it in a way that allows for people to be open to receiving it. And you guys have done a phenomenal job with it. So I'm so excited. It's been so fun to work with you, both of you, as a team, because all of our sessions have been as a team. And I know Leah and I have done some, one-on-one stuff with Voxer and email, and as she is implementing all of these things into the business too. But it's just been such a fun experience to work with the both of you, especially because I have known you, Liz, for a really long time, and you're my go-to person that I get to geek out with NLP stuff over. And I think when I think back, I think you came to my very first live training that I ever did in Seattle. And I was just so honored that you came, to support me as my friend and be in the training. And it's been a real pleasure to watch you grow and really watch you also step into your power and this research brain that you have, it's like you are amazing. Both of you are amazing. And to watch you take, what you learned in the NLP training and use it in this really brilliant way to help people make changes in their life. It's just, frankly, it's just an honor to know you. It was an honor to know you as a YouTube sensation, and it's an honor to know you now as a life changer.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate that so much, Nikki. And I feel the same way about you. Those conversations that we've had over the years of geeking out over this or that or the other thing, ideas. And it's all about ideas. Those are my favorite conversations. And I have to say, back from that first live training that you went to, it opened my eyes so much about what's possible. And for me, that's everything, what's possible. What I saw that was possible in the sales market to understand and have an education around selling that feels good, that feels positive, that really serves your client. To me, that was like, whoa, I knew that's what you did, but I hadn't seen it in the way I did in that class. So I want to say this, having known Nikki and having gone through VIP and some other classes with her, we're definitely not done. We're growing, and we know that Nikki will be a partner with our business for a long time, because it'll probably never be my specialty, Nikki, sales. But having the ability to have the support and to get the education as we need it, to serve a larger audience, to serve our clients better. For us, we really see that, one, it's worth every penny. One, it's worth every minute that you spend. And if you're serious about growing your business, which we are, it's essential.
Well, the sky is the limit for what you guys are doing. I know there's so many big plans that you have shared about like what's next. And there's just so many great things on the horizon. Can't wait. So thrilled to have you both come on the podcast and share. I wanted people to hear about the success. I wanted people to hear about Cognomovement and the way that you have really incorporated these things into your business so that you can impact more lives and make a bigger, widespread change in the world for people who are ready for it. So thanks for coming on. And as we bring today's kind of session to a close, or episode to a close, I guess I'm used to in the coaching now. As we bring today's session to a close, that's very like coaching language for me. Geez. I always like to end with two questions for you each. Two questions. The second question, you'll be the same answer. But the first question is, as a member of the Sales Maven Society, what has been one of the benefits that you've received? And I'd love to hear both of your answers to this.
It's actually really cool, because when we run into, a stopping point where we're just not sure, we can go in and research and find something that actually matches what we need in real time. I mean, 24/7, we can get in there and find what we need and use the tool or the technique or the script or the information in a podcast to actually get that task done in a way that, we feel really good about. So for me, I think that's huge about the Sales Maven. And I love the live calls with the group. I learned so much from that.
I love that. Thank you. How about you, Leah?
So the very first module I opened, which is about pricing, the very first thing, I literally already learned something. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So the amount of knowledge in there, the biggest thing that I get from it is like, oh my gosh, like I have, there's so much I need to know, and I can know it from here. So that's, the biggest thing I'm getting out of it is just all of the knowledge that I can implement into the business. So
I love that. I love that you guys are utilizing the training center, that you're going through the trainings as you need them. There is a lot in there. Sometimes people will say, I'm overwhelmed by this. And I keep telling them, it's like an on demand. It's like sales on demand. You just go in and use what you need when you need it. And then you go back into your business and you implement. And then when you're ready for your next thing, then you come back to the training center. It's not the kind of content that you should consume all in one sitting. That would be like saying, sit down and eat, like a turkey, like a full turkey, and all the sides for the, and then all these delicious desserts that we've prepared for you. At some point, you're going to go like, Uncle, I'm out. Yeah. So I love that you're using it in that way. So thank you for that.
I see it like a library, because you don't go in and read all the books all at once. You get interested in this, and or you need this or that, and then you wander over there, and then you get something. So it's really like a full library, all the subjects, all the content, things to read, video, things to listen to. So
yeah,
it's everything.
That's a great way to describe it. Thank you. Okay. And last, because I know there's people listening who are going to want to go check out Cognomovement. How can people get a hold of you? What's the best way?
So you just go to cognomovement.com, and the very first step is basic training. And you can subscribe and get a free ebook that tells you more about what Cognomovement is and what it does. Even just from there, you're going to go straight to basic training, I promise. So it's the foundation of Cognomovement. It teaches you everything you need to know of the basics, and then it amplifies a session with a practitioner. So it's definitely step one. So cognomovement.com is where you go.
And Cogno is spelled CONGO, right? Cogno? I spelled it wrong.
COGNOMOVEMENT.com. And if you ever need any help, I'm the one answering all the questions. So.
You will hear from Leah if you reach out to cognomovement.com. She will respond to you. What were you going to say, Liz?
I was just going to say the book is called Suffering is Optional. And, we struggle with that name as well. But, it's the basis of Cognomovement. We believe you can suffer if you want to, but now you have a choice and you can stop that suffering instantly. So the ebook has a lot of fun stories in it. It tells, the sciencey stuff behind, and it's only, I think, 50 or 55 pages. It's a short read and there's a lot of pictures. So if you're just curious, that's the place to go, is the ebook Suffering is Optional, and it's free.
I love that. And we'll put that link. Make sure you get that link to Melissa, and we'll make sure that the link is in the show notes so you can go and download the ebook, because you're going to want to check it out. Thank you so much, ladies, for being here. As we wrap up the show, as a listener, you know that this is the year of the question. So because we're talking about email conversion sequences, I want to encourage you to think about, are you having a conversation with the person who's reading your message? So here's a potential question that you can open with in your emails. And it's to say, when's the last time? And then you insert some context. This is different than sending an email to somebody saying, I know that you've experienced this. Instead, ask a question. So you're the question. That's your question for today. And if you want to come hang out with Liz and Leah and me in the Sales Maven Society, then you are invited to come join us. You can do that by going to salesmavensociety.com. This is a monthly membership. It's $147 a month to be in there. You get access to the library, as Liz mentioned, of training content. We do live calls, multiple calls a month, and you get access to a private group where I am in there daily, answering questions, offering tweaks to messages, and supporting the group. And it's just a really cool group. Anyway, here is your coupon code for your first month to save $100 off your membership. If you enter, when you go to salesmavensociety.com, enter the coupon code 47trial. That's the number 4, the number 7, and then TRIAL. That will take $100 off. You can come for $47 for your first month, dip your toe in the water, see what an amazing group this is. And I hope you'll want to stay with us. So come join us. If we haven't connected yet on social media, please connect with me. There is no greater joy than to log into LinkedIn and have somebody sent me a connection request saying, I listened to the podcast. Here's a technique that I implemented, and here are the results that I've gotten. That just fills my heart with joy. So thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for listening to Sales Maven. Visit us online at yoursalesmaven.com/maven for more resources to boost your confidence and skills.